In our lifetime, we absorb facts, information, and skills. We get our theoretical and practical understanding through education and experience. It's called knowledge. Welcome to television's longest-running high school quiz show, Knowledge Bowl. Let's join two of our 16 competing Northeast Michigan high schools and our host, Astrid Fitzpatrick, for today's match.
Hello and welcome to Knowledge Bowl, Michigan's longest-running quiz show. I'm your host, Astrid Fitzpatrick. Today our game is between Rogers City and Tawas. We'll start by introducing our teams, beginning with Rogers City and starting with their captain.
My name is Bailey Budnick. I'm a senior.
Aaron Rommel, senior.
Austin Colorate, junior.
Taylor Shea, junior.
Phil Granbo, sophomore.
Mary Breggy, junior.
And are joined by their coach, Dave Nowak. And our team from Tawas, starting with their captain.
Kyle Voigt, senior.
David Martin, sophomore.
Greg Jaycott, junior.
Nathan Kane, senior.
Stephen Young, senior.
Bryce Moon, freshman.
And are joined by their coach, Suzanne Brzezowski. We'll start our first round, the toss-up round, but before we start that, here is how it works.
Round 1 is a toss-up format. A question will be asked and the first competitor to ring in has the opportunity to answer the question. If a correct answer is given, the team is awarded 10 points. No consulting is allowed. If the answer is incorrect, then the question goes to the opposing team to answer.
All right, we'll get right into our first round. Which two countries have major shipping ports in the Gulf of Aqaba? Right, the correct answer was Jordan and Israel. What is the percentage composition of carbon and carbon dioxide? Oh, Kyle.
1/3.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Rogers City? Right, the correct answer was 27%. We're looking for a percentage. The Power of Light is a collection of Isaac Bashevis' singer stories for which holiday? Nathan?
Christmas.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Rogers City? Aaron?
Hanukkah.
That's correct. The non-dividing cells falls into what phase of mitosis? The correct answer was interphase. What is zoolatry? Aaron?
Could you repeat the...
What is zoolatry? Zoolatry. Right, the correct answer was animal worship. In which country did Premier Massimo D'Alema, Kyle?
Russia.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. He offered to resign on April 18th. Aaron?
Nicaragua.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. The correct answer was Italy. Cambodia's opposition leader said on April 18th that the ghost of what man who seized power with the Khmer Rouge 25 years ago still haunts this Asian nation. His regime killed 1.7 million people. Aaron?
Pol Pot.
That's correct. What is Ethiopia trying to avert? Aaron?
Starvation.
That's correct. For the first time in history, scientists are starting to build things bottom up, starting with a few atoms and molecules. What is the term for this new type of technology? Aaron?
Microconstruction.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Tawas? The correct answer was nanotechnology. In April, a European space group launched a satellite named after which science fiction writer? Aaron?
Asimov.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Tawas? The correct answer was Arthur C. Clarke. 31st annual Dove Awards were handed out on April 20th in Nashville, Tennessee. The awards recognize excellence in what field? Aaron?
Diplomacy.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Tawas? Nathan?
World peace.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. The correct answer was gospel music. A new Florida state law is giving couples a marriage license discount if they do what? David.
Volunteer.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Roger City? Right, the correct answer was if they take a marital education class. The U.S. Supreme Court recently refused to hear a case from which toy manufacturer that claims the 1997 dance song Barbie Girl infringes on its line of dolls. Nathan?
Hasbro.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Roger City?
Mattel.
Bailey? Yep, Mattel is correct. If this is not evil, then evil has no meaning, declared President Bush during his State of the Union address, referring to which country? Aaron?
Iraq.
That's correct. A 240-foot wall, or a 240-foot hall, the site where the Treaty of Versailles was signed to end World War I, received a $10 million renovation. Name it. Aaron?
Crystal Hall.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Tawas? The correct answer was the Hall of Mirrors. Which team won its second consecutive Super Bowl in 1999, the last time a team played in back-to-back title games? Kyle.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Roger City? Right, the correct answer was the Denver Broncos. A national survey by the Institute for Jewish and Community Research found that 3 groups were viewed by Americans as least like themselves in terms of basic beliefs and values. One was atheists. Name either one of the other 2 religious groups. Nathan.
Muslims.
And,
Jews.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Oh, I'm sorry, that's correct. It was either one. Roger, Muslim. Okay. Raleigh, North Carolina has had a shoplifting ring using bags lined with layers of what kitchen product to block electronic... Nathan?
Tinfoil.
That's correct. Fill in the blank. London police stormed a blank that has been a recruiting ground for violent Islamic radicals and arrested 7 people on charges. Kyle?
Mosque.
That's correct. What international fast food chain reported its first ever loss last quarter after decades of unprecedented profit? Bailey.
McDonald's.
That's correct. Major drug maker GlaxoSmithKline has given pharmacists in what nation an ultimatum? Stop selling to Americans at vastly low prices, or we'll stop selling to you. Kyle?
China.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Roger City? Aaron?
Canada.
That's correct, Canada. That's it for our first round. We'll be right back with some updated scores. All right, welcome back. So far we've got Roger City with a score of 70 and Tawas with a score of 30. Our next round is the bonus round, but before we start that, here are the rules.
This is the bonus round. It consists of toss-up questions, as in round 1. However, this is the twist. The team answering correctly then gets 4 bonus questions. For each question answered correctly, a series of points will be awarded. Team members can consult, but only the team captain can answer the question. After an incorrect answer, the toss-up portion begins again for both teams.
All right, we'll get right into our second round. What band that helped originate the grunge movement of the 90s is launching a 48-city American tour beginning April 1st in Denver? Kyle?
Disturbed.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Roger City? Aaron?
Audio Slave.
I'm sorry, that's also incorrect. The correct answer was Pearl Jam. New light has been shed on the theory of the origination of flight with the discovery of a fossil in China, a 4-winged dinosaur which may have done what instead of flying up from the ground? Nathan?
Glided.
Yep, that's correct. Right, fill in the blank. A central angle of a circle is an angle whose vertex is the blank. Right, the correct answer was the center of the circle. Okay, if Prince Charles is the Prince of Wales, then what is Andrew? Austin?
The Duke of Wellington.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Tawas? Kyle?
The Earl of Sandwich.
I'm sorry, that's also incorrect. The correct answer was the Duke of York. A panel of experts concluded that the current plans for this facility's development will prevent it from reaching its full research potential. Key problems include the reduction of crew from 6 to 3 and incoming shuttle flights. Name this facility. Kyle?
The International Space Station.
That's correct. Okay, which 4 U.S. states have active volcanoes?
Hawaii.
Sorry, this is Tawas.
Hawaii, Alaska.
Washington and Oregon.
Go for it.
Hawaii, Alaska, Washington, Oregon.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. The correct answer was Alaska, California, Hawaii, and Washington. Okay. A U.S. federal appeals court recently dismissed hundreds.
The way the question works, you earn 5 points for the first one you can name, 10 points for the second.
Oh,
How
whoops.
many did I get right?
So we got 3, right?
So,
Yeah, but it was one question, so I don't know how that.
well, it says
Works.
right there
Yeah.
how it works.
Okay.
So they got 3 right?
Yeah. So 30.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
All right. A U.S. federal appeals court recently dismissed hundreds of lawsuits brought by prisoners of which war who alleged that Japanese and German. Kyle?
World War II.
That's correct. All right, so some bills, such as those introduced in Congress, do not require payment. Give the names of the following types of bills. The bill that describes the fundamental liberties of a people.
Bill of Rights.
That's correct. The bill that is a legislative act which provides for punishment without judicial trial.
Habeas corpus?
Habeas corpus.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. It was the Bill of Attainder. Okay, who earned political science and law degrees from Brigham Young University, the college named after his great-great-grandfather? Kyle?
Mitt Romney.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Roger City? Aaron?
Brigham Young.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. The correct answer was Steve Young. Okay. B.G. Morris Gibb died on January 12th. Which of the group's albums is the best-selling movie soundtrack ever? Kyle?
Titanic.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Roger City? Right, and it was the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack for the Bee Gees. All 50 states use what system to report missing children, which state police relay? Kyle?
Amber Alert.
That's correct. Okay, the legal basis for the separation of church and state in the U.S. is found in which amendment to the Constitution? Right, it was the First Amendment. Okay, President Bush signed special orders to release almost $500 million in frozen funds to help what nation secure or eliminate nuclear, biological, and chemical weapons? Kyle?
Iran.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Aaron?
Israel.
I'm sorry, that's also incorrect. The correct answer was Russia. What internet media company has managed to increase fee-based services and ad revenue? More evident, it is plowing ahead while many of its internet rivals continue to struggle. Aaron?
Google.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Tawas? Nathan?
Facebook?
I'm sorry, that's also incorrect. The correct answer was Yahoo. The southernmost city in the continental United States is concerned about too many homeless people and cruise ship passengers filling the city during the day. What city? Aaron?
Florida Keys.
Yep, that's correct. Okay, identify these words with the letters M, I, and L in them. The middle name of Richard Nixon. Aaron?
Milo.
Sorry, that's incorrect. The correct answer was Milhouse. Okay, the East African nation of Malawi is in the throes of a sort of hysteria as people insist that what are attacking the villages and removing people's blood. Kyle?
Vampires.
That's correct.
That's really, really creepy.
Okay, and these are about opera. Where is the Metropolitan Opera Company based?
New York.
That's correct. What is the leading female singer in an opera called?
Prima donna.
Prima donna.
That's correct. What opera by Richard Wagner shares its name with the nickname of baseball great Honus Wagner?
Ace.
Ace.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. The correct answer was The Flying Dutchman.
Huh.
Okay. What African-American female took a central role in the debate within the White House, differing from President Bush's official position of eliminating race as a factor in admission policies at the University of Michigan? Kyle?
Madonna.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Roger City? Aaron?
Condoleezza Rice.
That's correct. Right, these ones are about Shakespeare. What did the soothsayer warn Julius Caesar to beware of? Aaron?
The Ides of March.
That's correct. In which play is the soliloquy that begins, tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow? The title character speaks the line after learning of his wife's death.
Henry VIII.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. The correct answer was Macbeth. That's all the time we have for our second round. We'll be right back with some updated scores. Hey, welcome back. So far we have Roger City with a score of 95 and Tawas and Lee with a score of 130. Our next round is the 60-second round, but before we start that, here's how that works.
This is our 60-second round. The team with the lowest score selects from one of the 4 categories of 10 questions. The team that has 60 seconds to answer as many questions as possible. Each correct answer is worth 10 points. Any missed questions will then be answered by the opposing team. An additional 20-point bonus is awarded for answering all 10 questions correctly.
All right, we're also joined by alternate Mary Breggy on Roger City's side. And we'll start the 60-second round with with Roger City, who's chosen the category functional knowledge. I'll give you a proper name for something, and you tell me, would you wear it, eat it, drink it, read it, spend it, drive it, or fly it? All right, boater.
Drive it.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Sashimi.
Eat it.
Eat it.
That's correct. Stanley steamer. No, that's the
What were the options for saying it?
Buy it. Just say buy it.
Buy it.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Espadrille.
Pass.
Okay. Zero.
Read it.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Quetzal.
Eat it.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Jodhpur.
Eat it.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Baguette.
Eat it.
Stout.
Drink it.
That's correct. And Lemong. And Tawas. All right, I'll give you the name of something. You tell me, would you wear it, eat it, drink it, read it, spend it, drive it, or fly it? All right, boater.
Wear it.
Wear it.
That's correct. Stanley steamer.
Hire it.
What? Drive it.
That's correct. Espadrille.
Read it. Read it.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Zero.
Spend it.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Quetzal.
Spend it.
That's correct. And Jodhpur.
Read it.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Right, our next category was generally speaking, starting with Tawas. Which sport employs a 3-second rule?
Basketball.
Basketball.
That's correct. The Pulitzer Prize gold medal features an engraving of which 18th century American?
Benjamin Franklin.
That's correct. In 1985, Lillian, a one-woman show about a famous playwright, opened at the Kennedy Center.
Pass.
Right. Dutch painter Vincent van Gogh entered an asylum after he did what?
Cut a zero.
That's correct. An old political adage claims that Americans don't get serious about presidential elections until after what fall sporting event?
Football. The Super Bowl.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Encyclopedia Americana says that this body part on the Great Seal of the United States is God's, and it's there as a hope for divine favor. That's correct. The Neutrality Treaty of 1978 designated this an international waterway, which is always to remain neutral.
The Panama Canal.
That's correct. The auger, brooch, and reamer are tools made for doing what?
Pass.
Give the general term in Rogers City. In 1985, Lillian, a one-woman show about what famous playwright, opened at the Kennedy Center?
Shakespeare?
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. An old political adage claims that Americans don't get serious about presidential elections until after what fall sporting event?
Football.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. The auger, brooch, and reamer are tools made for doing what?
Metalworking.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect as well. And that's all the time we have for our 60-second round. We'll be right back with some updated scores. Okay, welcome back. So far we've got Rogers City with a score of 125 and Tawas with a score of 210. Our last round is the toss-up round, just like the first round, and we'll get right into that. Craig Patterson, an iron worker in St. Louis, was quoted in USA Today saying, "I'd trust Bush with my daughter, but I'd trust who with my job?" Kyle?
Al Gore.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Aaron?
Carrie.
I'm sorry, that's also incorrect. The correct answer was former President Clinton. The Swiss Alinghi team sailed to a 5-1 sweep over Oracle BMW Racing in the Louis Vuitton Series to become the official challengers against Team New Zealand for what championship? David?
The World Sailing Championship.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Rogers City?
The World
Bailey?
Boating Championship.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. The correct answer was America's Cup. The world's third largest nuclear power recently approved the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, named this former Soviet republic that gained 176 nuclear missiles and about 1,800 nuclear warheads when the Soviet Union broke up in 1991. Aaron?
Ukraine.
That's correct. Name the Republican senator from Texas who recently became the first major candidate to file a declaration of candidacy for the presidency. Kyle?
Chris Christie.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Rogers City? The correct answer was Phil Graham. At the American Heart Association's recent conference, evidence was presented which suggests that a new drug, Zocor, may be effective in lowering the amount of what substance which accumulates on the walls of arteries. Kyle?
Sorry.
Roger City? Bailey?
Plaque.
Yep, that's correct. Or we also would have taken cholesterol. Jordan King Hussein became the first Arab head of state to visit Israel since Anwar Sadat in 1978 when he met with Israeli Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin to exchange ratified copies of the peace treaty. The two met beside what body of water which lies on the Israeli-Syrian border? Aaron?
Sea of Galilee.
That's correct. The Golf Channel is scheduled to make its cable television debut on January 17th and will televise 25 national and 40 international tournaments. The golf legend serves as chairman. What golf legend serves as chairman of the Golf Channel? David?
Jack Nicklaus.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Roger City?
Tiger Woods.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. The correct answer was Arnold Palmer. Embraced by the Light was on the 1994 nonfiction bestseller list for many weeks. What is it about? Aaron?
God.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Tawas? The correct answer was near-death experience. Name the director and star of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. Kyle?
Lost it.
Roger City? Right, the answer was Kenneth Branagh. Journalist Dan Dorfman is known for his influence on what? The correct answer was the stock market. Both plant and animal marine life flourished on the ocean floor, and this organic matter was buried by layers of fragmentary rock deposit over it. The covering layers prevented complete oxidation and decomposition, while the increased pressure and heat caused a partial distillation of the organic matter, resulting in the formation of what? Kyle?
Coral.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Roger City? Aaron?
Petroleum.
Judges? All right, yep, that's correct. Identify the L in ILWU, the organization that has been known to shut down docks and all ports in the Pacific Northwest. Aaron?
Labor.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Tawas? Kyle?
Lake.
I'm sorry, that's also incorrect. The correct answer was longshoreman. Texan John B. Connolly once noted, "I hope Spiro Agnew will be completely exonerated and found guilty of the charges against him." What's the problem with this sentence? Aaron?
Spiro Agnew was vice president. Richard Nixon was president.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Tawas? Nathan?
Agnew was not legally charged with anything.
Sorry, that's also incorrect. The correct answer was that exonerated and found guilty are antonyms, so opposites. Notre Dame de Paris is a large cathedral in France. Notre Dame is French for what? Kyle?
Our Lady.
That's correct. The phrase King Arthur and Sir Lancelot rolled into one has been used to describe a medieval warrior who became the national hero of Spain. He lived in the 11th century. Name him. But the correct answer was El Cid. It is a two-letter phrase which indicates the concentration of hydrogen ions in a solution. Name this measure. Kyle?
pH.
That's correct. The expert gunner who fired the shot in April of 1861 that began the Civil War landed his shot directly over what southern city? Kyle?
Charleston.
That's correct. And that's all the time we have for our last round. We'll be right back with some updated scores. Okay, welcome back. Our final scores are Rogers City with 165 and Tawas with 240. So congratulations to our winners today from Tawas. Join us next week when we'll have Whittemore versus Onaway. And I'll leave you with a quote from Carl Jung: "Knowledge lies not in truth alone, but in error also." So don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's why they put the little erasers on pencils. Have a nice day.